All right, our next presentation, one of my favorite animals as well. I've never seen one of these in the wild. I would love to. Very cool animal. Let's give it up for Riley Morales in the Bobcat. She's an expert on fashion as well.
Hey. Hi, my name is Riley Morales, and I did my report on the Bobcat. So let's start. Alright, so this is the classification of a Bobcat. Their scientific name is Lynx rufus. The Bobcat is very closely related to the lynx. Down here you can see that it is cousins with the lynx. Its physical characteristics, the male is typically larger than the female. The length is 2.5 to 4 feet for the male, and the female is 2.5 to 3 feet long. And males can be like 14 pounds to 40 pounds, and the females are usually 9 pounds to like 33.7 pounds. And their tail is about 5 to 6 inches long. And this is like just a description of their kids. They have long legs and larger feet, and their coat is like a tawny brown, and it can be like different like shades of reddish brown with dark streaks or spots, and they have a lighter underbelly, and they are known for their bobbed tail that has a black end on it, and that's what they're named for. And their ears are very large and with black tufts on top. And their coat is very soft and dense, and because they are winter animals usually. The Bobcat is distributed all across North America, and there isn't an exact population number because they're such a populous species, and they reach all the way into Canada and down into most of Mexico. Their habitat, since they are spread across a huge part of the North American continent, since there's different climates everywhere, they can live in almost any areas, because you can live in forests, mountainous areas, semi-deserts, brushland, and rocky hillsides and swamps. All they need in their habitat is just cover and concealment from weather and other animals. They are of least concern since their population is very high, and they have been observed to be increasing, even though they're very popular in the fur trade, but there's good management for that. And their reproductive characteristics: males may fight one another for a mate, and the males mature usually by their second year, but females have matured by their first year. Males and females both will probably have more than one mate, and the female produces about 2 to 6 kittens per litter, and she has about 2 litters per year. The kittens will stay with their mother for 7 months, but when they're 3 months old, they will start to travel around with her, and she will teach them all the skills they will need for when they live on their own. The male does not offer any parental care, so it's as soon as they're born, he just leaves. Bobcats usually live 6 to 14 years in the wild. The maximum that they have known to live in captivity is 32 years and 4 months. And the longest they have lived in the wild is about like 16. In the wild, most bobcats die from its predators and natural causes, rarely old age or being hunted by humans. In captivity, most bobcats usually die from sickness or old age. Bobcats do not hibernate or undergo torpor. They are known as fierce winter hunters. That is another thing they are known for. And when they don't necessarily migrate, but during the winter time, they usually stick closer to the evergreen forests and move away from the deciduous forest. Their diet consists of rabbits, birds, small deer, rodents, reptiles, arthropods, and plants. And here's a graph of their diet. Right. Their predator relationships. Their primary predators are other bobcats, cougars, gray wolves, coyotes, and humans. Bobcats are one of the most popularly hunted and traded animals, but thanks to good management, they have been conserved, and in some states they are banned from being hunted. Their human relationships. Humans interact with bobcats usually in zoos or for research or in hunting. Bobcat fur is used as clothing or trophies or like mounts for people who hunt, and again, hunting of the bobcat is well managed to ensure that it doesn't affect their population. And some fun facts. The bobcat only lives in North America. The bobcat's growl or roar is often mistaken for the one of a lion because it's so deep and loud. And bobcats are excellent swimmers, and they can leap 10 feet. And that's my work site. And that's the end. Questions, Dawson?
Like, where is most of their population? Like, is there one state that they like really
They usually stick to forests, so I guess probably like over on the western side there's a lot more. Any other questions, Mr. Myers?
Alright, first go to your second slide. So what I loved a lot about this presentation is the use, third slide, the use of charts. So Riley, I was having a tough time seeing that chart back here. What is the main point that chart is showing up there of that bobcat?
This one, it shows you the prints, and then it tells you, it explains the coloration patterns of the long legs and big paws, and sensory whiskers, some dark marks on the face, tufts of hair on the top of the ears, short tail barred with black and with black stripe above, and the tail's end is black on top and tipped with white. So it basically just describes how it looks.
Gotcha. And then go to your fifth slide.
Which one?
It's 2 down from there. So I like that map a lot. And I don't know if you know this or if you found this. Looks like there's a little gap, like towards the Midwest states like Illinois, Michigan.
Yeah.
Was there any reason for why they're not there?
I'm not exactly sure why they don't stick around like Michigan and those areas. I think mainly because open plains aren't just their thing.
Gotcha.
So because they need like a lot more forest area.
Which would probably explain why they're not in California right there either, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't it also Tornado Alley like those states? Those 4 states?
Yeah, but so are some of those, like Oklahoma, where they are. Too. But it's a good thought. Go to the next one, slide 10, I think it was. I love these charts a lot. primarily rodents, is that correct?
Yeah.
And the blue is like other mammals. So they're mostly carnivorous then? What kind of plants do they eat?
They eat juniper berries, usually in the spring when those are seasonal. But, yeah.
My last question before I let everyone else go. What's the difference between a bobcat and a lynx? How would you know?
Lynx, they're actually quite bigger and they are taller, and their paws are a little bit bigger because they stick towards their parts. They're both fierce winter hunters, but the lynx usually stays in their colder parts like all year long.